Hello there, and welcome to this special edition of the Catholic History Minute. Today, we're going to talk about the 4th of July and the Catholic Mass. Hope you enjoy. Okay, so this week we're going to celebrate the 4th of July, which everybody knows the history. On the 4th of July, the Continental Congress declared their independence from the nation of Great Britain and King George III. But what a lot of people don't realize is that in 1776, the year the Declaration of Independence was signed, that was actually a very bad year for the United States of America. We lost the harbor of New York. Washington faced defeat after defeat leading up to Christmas and the famous crossing of the Delaware. But it was not a good year in the cause of American independence. In any event, it's famous because eventually we do win the Revolutionary War and we found a new nation. And the Declaration of Independence played a very large role in that idea. So today we're going to talk about the 4th of July and the Declaration of Independence and its connection to the Catholic Mass. All right, so let's get started. 1777 was not as bad of a year. That is the year of the famous Battle of Saratoga. And it was after the Battle of Saratoga that the French basically enter into the American Revolution. The Spanish do as well, but we've completely obliterated their history because we come from an English country and the Black Legend and all that, but we'll get to that in another video. So anyways, the French come into the American Revolution in a very serious way. In fact, by July 1778, they have a French minister in the capital of Philadelphia, and he is the major player in our story today. Okay, so when the French come to Philadelphia, the French are Catholic. Problem is, we don't have a lot of Catholic churches in the American colonies. In fact, in some of the colonies, it's actually illegal to practice the Catholic Mass. So, one of the things that the French do at their embassy is they set up a little chapel. It's called the Chapel of St. Mary's, which I think is modern-day St. Joseph's today. There's a plaque on the side of the church today in Philadelphia of where this event takes place. In any event, 1779, the 4th of July landed on a Sunday. So the French minister thought it would be a pretty good idea to invite the entire Continental Congress to a Catholic Mass. Now you have to understand, this is pretty epic because the Continental Congress hates the Catholic Church. In fact, here, let me read you a declaration from 1774 to 1775 issued by the Continental Congress. In 1774, the Continental Congress declared that the Roman Catholic religion to be one, quote, fraught with impious tenets, and one which had deluged England in blood and dispersed impiety, bigotry, murder, and rebellion throughout every part of the world, end quotation. Now fast forward 4 years. The French are in Philadelphia, and they want the Continental Congress to show up and celebrate the 4th of July in a Catholic Mass. According to the historian Martin Ignatius Griffin, a famous historian from the 19th century, he was a Catholic historian. His books are excellent. According to him, the Continental Congress was not excited, to say the least, about celebrating the 4th of July in a Catholic Mass. But they realized they needed the French really bad. So they girded their loins and they showed up at a Catholic Mass on 4th of July, 1779. I'm going to read to you from what historian Martin Ignatius James Griffin had to say. Quote, when the 4th of July, 1779 came near, Gerard arranged to have a religious commemoration of the day at St. Mary's Church. Accordingly, on July 2nd, Friday, he issued the following request to the members of Congress, the President and Supreme Executive Council of Pennsylvania, and prominent gentlemen. You are requested on behalf of the minister to assist at the Te Deum, which will be celebrated on Sunday 4th of this month at noon in the new Catholic Chapel to commemorate the anniversary of the independence of the United States of America. Griffin goes on to say, the Reverend Seraphine Bandel, recollect, was the chaplain of the French embassy. by a strange typographical error, his name appears as Bandit on the copies of the discourse as printed by order of Congress. The Pennsylvania Packet, July 10th of 1779, reported the occurrence thus: "On Sunday last, being anniversary of the independence of America, His Excellency the President and the Honorable the Members of Congress attended divine worship in the forenoon in Christ Church, where an excellent sermon suitable to the occasion was preached by the Reverend Mr. White, rector of the Episcopal churches in this city, and one of the chaplains to Congress. At noon, the President and members of Congress, with the President and Chief Magistrates of this state, and a number of other gentlemen and their ladies, went, by invitation from the Honorable the Minister of France, to the Catholic Chapel, where this great event was celebrated by a well-adapted discourse, pronounced by the minister's chaplain, and a Te Deum solemnly sung by a number of good voices, accompanied by the organ and other kinds of music." So there you have it. One of the first 4th of Julys in American history, 4 years before the end of the American Revolution. The Founding Fathers, who did not like the Roman Catholic Church, were at a Catholic Mass singing the Te Deum, thanking God for his deliverance. If that doesn't tell you something about the true meaning of the 4th of July, I don't know what will. Yeah, it's a wonderful day. Having hot dogs, watching baseball, seeing fireworks. But the reality is, all of the good things that this country has ever been a part of come from the reality of divine providence. And the fullness of that reality is found at the Catholic Mass. So from us here at the Catholic History Minute, we urge every Catholic who sees this to spend your 4th of July the way our founders did during one of the darkest periods in American history, at the Catholic Mass. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time.